Let's get right into this review for Karate Kid Legends. Alright, so Karate Kid Legends is officially the newest addition to the lineup of previous Karate Kid films we've seen in the past. Jonathan Entwistle is the new director at the helm for this latest entry, and also the main star of this film showcases Ben Wong as the new Karate Kid, along with cast members that play both fresh and familiar faces from this franchise, all of whom I thought did a pretty solid job within their roles in the story, so kudos to the entire cast involved. Now to get right into it, what did I think about the story presentation here? As much as I hate to be the bearer of bad news, I have to say I was disappointed with this cinematic experience. But before discussing the negatives, I do want to dwell deeper into some of the positives. To start off, I thought Ben Wong was great as the new Karate Kid. There was enough energy and charisma fused into his character to work as the main lead. Also, his kung fu choreography skills are pretty darn impressive, and it really did look awesome on the big screen. So kudos to him and the work he's done here. Now in terms of the overall storytelling throughout the acts, I found Act 1 to be the only real highlight in this film. I thought there was enough build-up during the initial phases of this story within the transition from Beijing to New York and the ignition of the drama to follow for the rest of the acts. And although I found Act 1 to be the sole highlight in this narrative, this did feel like the same generic story presentation of what you'd expect from a Karate Kid film, so there's nothing additionally going on here to make this new iteration stand out compared to its predecessors. And as untrue as I wish this was, it's really somewhere around the middle point of Act 2 and beyond, where I thought the story just went in a complete downhill spiral. It was quite frankly a mess from that point on. First off, the emotional depth and attachment to the story just wasn't there for me. I just couldn't find myself to connect with the pivotal story beats, and I couldn't resonate with the emotional beats the film wanted you to experience at different segments. Secondly, the build-up in Act 2 preparing for the big tournament in the last act felt absolutely rushed. I honestly believe this is where the story could have justified a longer runtime and less of its transition montages to keep the narrative barreling to the finish line, which felt odd for sure. The quick-paced nature of Act 2 almost felt as if there were budgeting issues. Thirdly, for a protagonist who was clearly skilled in kung fu and had several fight sequences against tougher foes twice his size, and was also a kung fu teacher to someone in Act 2 of the narrative, I just couldn't fathom how easily he was beat down by the main antagonist in their first fight together. Lastly, the final tournament just wasn't satisfying to witness. And again, the stakes weren't built up all too well. The training montages before the tournament felt rushed. The first 3 fights in the tournament were pretty much skipped with the use of montages to get into the main fight, and once we're in that boss stage, the final fight itself becomes fairly predictable, so it wasn't satisfying to witness at all. And after pondering about this film post-screening, this entire cinematic package honestly just felt like a significantly worse version of the Karate Kid that had Jaden Smith as the main lead. My final score for Karate Kid Legends is 5.5 out of 10. This was a film I've been looking forward to ever since the initial trailers, and honestly, I'm still flabbergasted by how disappointed I was at the end of my screening with this cinematic experience. I mean, the cast did a pretty solid job, but yeah, the overall screenplay just didn't work for me at all. Anyways, thanks for checking this review out. There's a ton of anticipated films coming out soon, so stay tuned for more, and I shall see you on my next upload. Until then, stay safe out there, and peace.